Just a few housekeeping issues while we start. Sign-in sheet over there. Also, next to the sign-in sheet, I have some like comment cards. So if you have a specific issue that you want to talk to me about, like a a pothole that you've been trying to get fixed, or like a road issue or anything, you can fill that out on a comment card or just write it on a piece of paper on the back of whatever, a napkin. Hand it to me or my staff or Madeline here, and if you can write your name, your phone number, your email, your address, any information that we can get in contact with you later, that would be very helpful. We can process that issue and get in contact with you. We're gonna have a lot of people coming up to us and telling us, about their concerns, and it just helps if we have it in writing and your contact information that we can get back to you. Also, there's a lot of materials over there. Please feel free to take whatever you want, and coffee and water. So, just want to introduce myself. I'm Melissa Daub. I'm the County Commissioner for District 10, which is all of Canton Township, all of the city of Plymouth, and a small portion of Plymouth Township. And I've been in office since 2019. I grew up here in Canton Township, lived here pretty much all my life. Love the community. I just feel like it's such an honor to serve the community I grew up in. My parents have lived here since the 70s, and I raised my son here. He graduated from Salem High School in 2020, and I just love it here. So, I want to introduce my staff. This is Madeline. She's been with me a whole 3 months now, so she's still learning the ropes. And then I have Selena over here with the camera, and she's also been with me about 3 months. So I've got a newer team, but they're really great. They're really interested in county matters and the community, and so this is my team. And then my special guest today is Deputy Executive Assad Turpey, and I will let him introduce himself and his massive team that he's brought here today.
Yeah, I don't know about massive, but yeah, my name is Assad Turpey. I'm Deputy County Executive for Wayne County. I've been with Wayne County now for over 23 years. I started off as an entry-level employee in the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. I've held 9 different positions to this point. I'm a former Canton Township resident, so I used to live down the road from here off of Beck Road in Gettys. And I got with me today Jordan from SMART, who is part of the team that helps build routes. That was part of the team that came on the listening tour with us. And we got many other staff members here, including I got Antonisha, who's our commission liaison. Mervat here from our communication team. Darcel Brown, my chief assistant. Who else am I missing? I know this is Molly, community engagement, person you see out in the community. So we got a good group of people here, but we're here to inform you guys on everything that we're working on. Jordan, do you want to say a couple words?
Yeah, no, thank you so much for inviting me. SMART has been engaging with community leaders and looking at a lot of data over the past year to kind of inform the service concepts that we've drawn up, that would be within the bounds of what we expect if the millage were to pass. And we're really excited about what we've got.
Great. So, just kind of an idea of what we're gonna do today is I have some district updates that I'm gonna talk about. Don't know if you guys are here mostly for the ballot proposal information, but I'm gonna bore you with some community district updates, and then we'll turn it over to Assad and talk about the ballot proposal. So, first of all, I just want to let everyone know that I do send out a monthly e-newsletter. I know I did send out a paper newsletter. Hopefully you all got it in the mail. I really only send those out like once or twice a year because postage is expensive, but I send out a monthly e-newsletter. So if you sign in and you put your email address in there and check, please add me to your list, I'll send you a monthly e-newsletter letting you know what's going on. Also, I have a Facebook and Instagram page, so if you follow me on social media, there's lots of updates. And then my second update is that we are to construction season. Whether that's good or bad, that's your opinion. But unfortunately, last week, our state had a very bad tragedy. 2 MDOT road workers were killed by a car crash while filling potholes, doing their job in Ingham County. So I just want to remind everyone to please drive slowly while you're going through work zones. Get off your phone. You should never be on your phone anyways while driving, but additionally, the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments, or SEMCOG, is having their Safe Streets campaign this month. So over there, right behind us, these gentlemen are a lot, some literature and these really cool light up devices. Please take some. These help you be more visible while you're out walking, biking, during the evening hours. So you can put them on your sleeve. When I had a dog, I put this on the dog's harness. It's just give them to your kids. They love light up bracelets. These are little keychains. So please take one. Please take them, because I don't want them anymore. They're greedy. You guys take them, give them to the kids, the grandkids. They're fun while they're out this summer biking, and we want everyone to be safe. So take those and please be safe this year. So on to some contracts that the commission has passed. This was in April, so just a month ago. The Wayne County Commission approved an intergovernmental agreement with Canton Township in the amount of $773,500,000 for the local partnering initiative for township roads to allow pavement repairs for various subdivision locations. And Canton is going to match that amount that's coming from the county. So the project is going to be implemented in 2 phases, with Group 1 consisting of concrete pavement repairs, including paving of gravel surfaces and necessary sidewalk repairs. And there's a whole list of subdivisions: Glengarry Villages, Century Farms, Fairway West, Kirkway, Pickwick Village, and Windsor Park. And then Group 2 is going to be Central Park, Cherry Knoll, Cobblestone Ridge, Echo Forest, Heritage Farms, Huntington Place, Meadowwoods Village, Northwoods Place, Parkview Estates, Poplar Ridge, Riverwoods, Sierra Heights, Stratford Park, and Wood Creek. Then, later that month, and on April 14th, we approved an intergovernmental agreement with Canton not to exceed $1 million for improvements to local roads and pedestrian pathways affected by alkali silica reaction, or ASR. So some of you may have heard about ASR concrete mix. It was really big in the 90s. It was supposed to be like the new concrete mix that was going to solve everyone's problems, but it was really bad and it just crumbled after a few years. So we've been trying to get rid of all of that in Canton, and I think this will get rid of the last amounts. Joe?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
The last
Great.
ASR known on public roads in Canton.
Yay.
Yep.
Okay. So we're finally getting rid of that. And then Canton's going to contribute, close to $5 million to get rid of that, and then we will be done. So, and then there's a long list of subdivisions, but I won't bore you with that. Then we were just talking about this. The Wayne County Department of Public Services completed a structural rehabilitation on the Willow Drain under Canton Center Road in Canton. This project was between Sheldon Center Road and Joy Road along the east edge of Plymouth Canton High School campus. And this work started in late May and is now complete. So there is a phase 2 scheduled for sometime this summer. Assad, you know a lot about this. You were very instrumental in getting this done. It was sort of an emergency situation where the road was probably going to collapse. I know we talked with our fire chief because we weren't gonna let you guys go over the road with the fire trucks, and it was an emergency situation, but our crew at DPS was really great about getting that fixed, so I don't know if you wanna talk a little more about that.
Yes, County Executive Warren C. Evans, been a public servant for 50 plus years, and I've had the privilege to work under him for a good 20 of those years in my career. And one thing that we take serious is when the communities call about an emergency, we look into it, we investigate it, and we take the appropriate actions. And that's exactly what we did. And we got a safe road now, and we're happy to always listen to the community and take the community's concerns seriously and try to adjust and make the right decisions. So it's up and opening, running, and everyone's happy.
Finally, over there are some magnets. Please take one, put it on your fridge. If you don't like my face on it, you can just cover it up with a Sharpie. But there's a very important phone number on it. It's the Wayne County DPS 24-hour hotline, 1-888-ROAD CREW. That's the number to call if there's any road hazard, not just potholes, but like trees that are down, if a traffic light is out, call that number and you can report anything you want to them. Also, so you can always call my office too if you need help with anything, but that is the number that you can call any hour of the day. And just one other thing before I close, there's lots of Wayne County Parks events going on this summer, so we encourage everyone to use the parks. There's Saturdays in the parks. We close down Hines Drive every Saturday from 8 to 3, I think. And you can walk, ride your bike without worrying about traffic. We've got the Senior Fun Fest June 13th at Nankin Mills Park. So check out WayneCountyMI.gov for all those fun events, and it's going to be a great summer. So now I'm going to turn it over to Assad and Jordan, and we're going to have a good discussion on this upcoming ballot proposal for transit.
Yes.
So.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. Thank you to everyone coming out today. When we look at our region right now, Ann Arbor has a great transit system. It's just west of us. Macomb County has an all-connected communities. All the communities are connected in Macomb County. Oakland County in 22 made that change to go all in as well for all their communities. Wayne County right now has significant gaps. We have 17 communities that don't participate in our Wayne County Transit Village. 16 of those communities don't have access to true public transportation, public access transportation, and with fixed routes. A little over 2 years ago, County Executive Warren Evans set the vision. The vision was to go to an all-in county. And when he set that vision, we went to look at what Oakland County did and kind of learn from their experience in 22. And one thing that we learned that Oakland County didn't do that we made sure we did here is before we went to the voters to ask them for an all-in measure, we went around and we met with all 43 of our communities in Wayne County, and we listened to them, and we got feedback, and we looked at the data to see where we are short and how we could improve. And that's exactly what we did. And it took a long time to go to 43 communities. I think we were here probably about a year ago, Joe, when we came. I think we came last spring, early summer, and we sat down with the whole entire team of Canton Township's leadership team right across the street in their township hall, and we had a very good, healthy conversation. And I know the supervisor Anne Marie is a fighter for Canton Township. So is Commissioner Melissa Dobb, and we made sure that we got the feedback that's necessary. And in this past February, we were able to submit a Wayne County transit evaluation that SMART helped put together here. And you guys have kind of the Cliff Notes version of it that we passed out on the table, but it's a very comprehensive plan. You guys all have access to it. We want to make sure it gets out into the community of what to expect. But when we went and did these meetings with all 43 of our communities, we didn't just show up on ourselves as this is the county executive's office trying to pull this off. We showed up with a team of people from the Regional Transit Authority, our RTA, Ben Stupka, Smart, showed up with a team of people. We showed up because as we are thinking about, you know, what we would like to do here in Wayne County, we're also thinking about the region, making sure that, you know, residents in Canton Township are not just connected to their neighboring communities like Westland, who's an opt-in community, but also connected. The data show that many of the residents here go to Ann Arbor, and we wanted to make sure that there was good connections between those systems. And what we didn't want to do, and County Executive Warren Evans has been very serious about this, is not raising taxes. Let's be very efficient. And as many of you remember, when County Executive Warren Evans took office in 2015, Wayne County was on the brink of bankruptcy. We had a structural deficit of $52 million. We were like another couple, $200-300 million in the hole. We had a pension system that was funded at 40%. We had $1 billion in healthcare liability. And today, in junk bond status on top of it, today, we have over 400, we avoided bankruptcy. We got a AA bond rating. We have over $400 million in our general fund rainy day fund. We got rid of our total unfunded healthcare liability, and our pension system's funded at 75%. That was all done by good, strong leadership, and it was that same type of leadership that took this measure into place. We knew this wasn't going to be an easy road, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we wanted to make sure that we got everyone's feedback to make sure that we have a good, comprehensive plan. And ultimately, I think things to remember, this is an affordable millage rate. It's the same millage rate that has been levied in the past for our opt-in communities. So with those communities that are opted in, it's essentially a renewal for those new communities that are getting in. This will be a new tax for you. And you're looking at about $8 a month for the average home in Wayne County, is about $200,000. You're looking at about $8 a month for a home that's worth about $200,000. And it's an affordable millage rate. And the one thing that I learned more than anything, as we traveled our 43 communities, I used to be really focused on the economic opportunities of transit and making sure people got to jobs and making sure that we are in a position as a county to be competitive. And the data shows for every dollar that you put in transit, you get $4 to $5 in return on economic opportunities. But what I've learned more than anything, there is a great need for public transportation for our senior citizens, for our special needs communities, and our communities with disabilities that are unable to drive. This is a lifeline for many of them, and being able to live a full life is, I think, something that is our duty in government to make sure that everybody has that ability. And we're out here talking to the communities in August. We'll be either all in or we're going to be all out. And I know for many people, and I'll turn it over to Smart now, which you're going to wonder, what is Canton Township going to get? Nankin Transit, which is an important transit option in some of our western county communities. Canton Township is here. This is a service where senior citizens can pick up the phone and schedule an appointment to take them to their doctor's appointment or grocery stores, or to be able to live a full life. Part of that Nankin Transit, a lot of people don't know this, is some of that has been funded by your neighboring communities who are actually paying the tax. And what we plan on doing is that service now that Canton Township's in, there's going to be more resources put toward Nankin Transit. You're also going to get increased lines on Warren and Ford Road and Michigan Avenue, also Haggerty, and I know there's others there that are being planned. And Jordan, I won't take all your thunder, but Jordan's worked very hard with his team members over at Smart to make sure they took that in. So Jordan, I'll turn over to you to
Before we
fill
go
the gaps.
to Jordan, can I just ask, so Oakland County has a 0.95 mil, and so does Macomb County. It's the same, right? Is that the same that we have?
We are, don't quote me wrong, we're under 1 mil. I think it's 0.98.
Okay.
0.98. Yeah.
Okay.
It's under 1 mil. It's in the same general amount. It's the same amount that we have levied through our past.
Okay. How long has Macomb County had theirs?
Since the 1990s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Macomb has been.
And Oakland just passed theirs in 2000.
22,
okay.
And that was very last minute, so as when after the election, we were like, okay, get to work. What we've had the luxury of doing is talking with community leaders, going to the drawing board, looking at data, and really taking the time to understand where the needs are for transit. No, keep going. So what we're proposing, if the ballot measure should pass, is 8 new routes, fixed routes. So the large buses that you see going up down main roads every 30 minutes, every 45 minutes or so, and 3 flex zones in the more. Oh, let me talk about that. So we get into the planning minutia a little bit, but Flex is a service that Smart currently has in 5 zones, and we're continuing to expand. It's kind of like an Uber within a certain zone that will connect you to other services. So, but it's a lot cheaper than Uber. So it's the $2 base fare, and it will never cost more than $8 within a given zone. And we've had great success with this. We're seeing ridership go up and up in all these zones. In Macomb, in Oakland, Dearborn currently has a zone. There's also in Taylor and Allen Park. So we're proposing flex zones for Van Buren, Sumter, Huron Townships. But in Canton, it would really be the start. The first phase of this would be getting those main roads covered by fixed route service that will connect you to your neighbors. And as we talked about, Nankin Transit, which serves a number of Western communities, the ability to expand. And Nankin Transit has been a partner with Smart for a very long time. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. So we're really excited to expand on those successes.
So I was just asking questions about Oakland and Macomb, and I know, we have like the Tri-County group with them. And Assad mentioned something about Washtenaw before. How do we include Washtenaw? Because they're not really part of our Tri-County.
Yeah, so that is something that we're having conversations with the Ann Arbor Area Transit Authority.
A lot of people here in Canton travel to Ann Arbor.
And we recognize that we are right on the border of the county line. So we're looking at things such as taking Michigan Avenue routes. There are several. There's the local service that stops more frequently, and then there's the frequent fast service that's more like an express bus that comes more often, stops fewer times, but will get you where you need to go really quickly. We're looking at potential expansion to Ypsilanti to meet with Ann Arbor's transit network.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know Ann Arbor, I believe, levies 4 mills.
Yes.
For their
Much
tax,
more than this.
and much more, 4 times more than what this proposed millage is. And we really wanted to make sure it was an affordable option for everyone, especially right now when you're thinking about the high gas prices. When you think of $8 a month for the average home in Wayne County, it's a really affordable option.
I've heard some people talking about how, a lot of people aren't using the Smart buses right now, that a lot of them are empty all the time. How do you
So
address that?
I'll tell you this, that is a good question. There's, that you gotta, a public transportation isn't like a school bus, right? Where it loads up at a school and it loads up 25 children into a bus and takes them to a field trip destination, right? Public transportation, it's fixed routes. So someone may get on a bus, ride it for a mile. The next person may get on, ride it for 2 miles. And that the reality, I know there's been some misinformation numbers that have been pushed out there. We disagree with those numbers wholeheartedly. But I think what's important to know is this. Right now, Westland is an opt-in community. If you have an individual that wants to get to Canton Township from Westland, they can't use the service. It doesn't work for them. So right now, for Westland residents, they're paying for a service that's piecemeal, and they're not getting its full potential. The minute that we are all in, we know we're gonna have more increased participation because there's gonna be working for more people. How do we know this? We know this because this is exactly what happened in Oakland County. There were many communities in Oakland County where the officials in the community said, we don't want public transportation. I'm against public transportation. And then the voters voted on it, and the voters wholeheartedly supported it. And not only wholeheartedly support it, today those same officials are calling for more public transportations. Once they seen the benefit of public transportation, they're like, wait, this actually works. And when you think about it as a region, and one thing that I've learned in my career in government is you have to collaborate. You have to work with your neighboring communities to be able to solve problems. Just like we had that issue over that drain, the culvert. You know, we have to come together. It was having the ability for Canton Township's fire chief to know he could go to his supervisor, and the supervisor could go to the Wayne County Commissioner, who came to work with the Department of Public Service. And, you know, ultimately, all that work is because we're working together. And I think when we start looking at Wayne County, we are missing out on so much opportunities right now to even enhance our transit system even further, because when the state of Michigan allocates grant money to go to regions, those are your taxpayer dollars. What's happening now is that money is going somewhere else. It's not coming here. It's not coming here because we are not competitive in being in a situation. It's hard for us to be competitive when we have opt-out communities. The minute we are all in, now Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County could all hold hands, go to the state government, be able to lobby for more public transportation dollars, to maybe have more of the flex zones, the rideshare programs going around. Those are the ones that everybody wants. Well, those are also the most expensive to operate. But once we're in that situation, we're gonna be more competitive to be able to compete on the federal level and on the state level. So we are excited about it.
So, you know, Wayne County is, we have a lot of different communities. You know, like we all know what Canton is, but then we've got like Detroit is a whole different type of community. Our communities to the south of us here are a little more rural, spaced out. How have you made the plan to address all of those different types of communities?
Yes. So when this millage, if it passes, the Wayne County Transit Authority will be in a position. The authority is made up of appointees that the county executive appoints, and also mayors and township supervisors and members of the county, the community. They're gonna be on this board. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna look at all the transit entities that are out there, and there'll be a situation for those transit entities to make a pitch on why they should provide those services. So right now, when you look at the county, we do have some transit entities that we use right now. You got DDOT in the city of Detroit. Detroit residents are very happy with DDOT. So the promise that we've made is the money that we collect from the city of Detroit, we are gonna reinvest back into the DDOT system, because the DDOT system is working for Detroit. The same thing, the money that we collect from our suburbanite communities, we're going to reinvest that into SMART. And what suburbanite communities have shown is they're happy with SMART. Those communities that are participating in SMART right now are happy with it. And also Nankin Transit. Nankin Transit is an effective transit option that we want to continue to build and reinvest in. And when you talk about our rural communities, you know, many of our communities have dirt roads. Like, they don't want buses, and everybody always thinks about big buses. We got big buses, we got middle-sized buses, we got small buses, we got paratransit. There's different options, but for those communities, we are thinking about rideshare programs, right? Having automobiles, cars, four-wheel vehicles, and to be able to move around within those communities. So when we went around to talk to the 43 communities, it was also a situation for SMART and the RTA to be able to go ahead and connect with those communities. So as they're building out the routes, they're doing it with data, but they're also doing it with real life experience, talking to real life people that had real life situations.
Because it's definitely not a one size fits all for Wayne County.
We like to describe it as a menu of options that all kind of fit together and work together in a way.
I do want to leave time for questions from people, but is there anything else that you want to add before we?
No, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, alright, okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna start over here and we'll work our way around.
I guess my question would be to the gentleman from SMART. What percentage of your operating budget is supported by the fares?
It's pretty low. And it's low across the country. It's about 4%. Where you see the higher, the fare capture is really like commuter rail systems, like the large ones. So yeah, it's about 4%.
So as a possible incentive to pass the millage, would moving fares from the transit system to certain categories of people be a good incentive? Since
Well-
it's not really an important part of your budget.
What we just have launched that we're really excited about is free fares for students. So that's K through 12, and that is also college students.
And then
So-
one last question, as a senior citizen, do your buses all have bike racks?
Yeah, the fixed route buses all have bike racks. Yep.
Next question.
So first question is, can you do the same session in Plymouth Township?
We're happy, yes.
Okay, I'll talk to you afterwards. And then is Nankin Transport in Plymouth Township, or is that?
It does, you can name the communities.
Yeah, it's based in Westland, but their borders, I don't have the exact driving boundaries in my mind, but it is all of the surrounding communities, and including Canton.
Wayne, Inkster,
Yeah.
Garden City.
Yeah.
Garden City, that's the one.
I guess my question really is, does the existing millage fund senior transport in Plymouth and Plymouth Township? That's really the question.
No.
No,
Not right now, no.
it does not.
But we do support, just as an example, SMART has a really robust, we call it a community partnership program, because we are a federal designee to get funds and vehicle support from the federal government. We work with communities that don't participate right now, so that they get in the SMART system, so that they can get vehicles for their senior programs and their disability transportation programs. Northville is an example of that.
I have a question. I see on the recommended service, and this is something that I've thought about for 30 years. I don't know why it's never been available, but like this Michigan, I assume this is Michigan Avenue, this fast route.
Yeah.
So, cause every day, 50 people from my sub, they drive to Dearborn and go to Ford. Like, you got, and that's just one sub, or maybe hundreds are leaving. Everybody's going down Michigan Avenue. Is that what this is supposed to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is already a significant amount of service on Michigan Avenue. It just ends at the border currently. So it serves up to Wayne.
Yep.
Currently.
And then, like, in this case, like, let's say where do you park if you're gonna, like, is this, there's no commuter lot, right? Like, there's no such thing as a commuter lot in this fast route? Or?
Well, we do have, SMART has several commuter routes,
Yep.
but we're actually working on, because the fast service on Woodward, Gratiot, and Michigan is more popular than those commuter routes. So we're working now to secure more agreements to
Yep.
make those commuter lots,
Yeah.
because,
I mean, there's tons of shopping centers,
Yeah.
but those lots
Yeah.
are 25% utilized, right?
and
You
it's
know what I mean?
nice when it's a,
And I think what's important is this. If we're successful with the millage, you gotta remember, this is a work in progress. We're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
continue to adjust, and there's gonna be a lot of infrastructure that we would have to build out. For instance, the question about like Plymouth and Plymouth Township, what Jordan was mentioning is there's senior services right now that are funded through community credits, right? That are funded through community credits that we would look at it, and I believe like Plymouth is, are we looking at Plymouth as a flex route option, or Plymouth Northville? I don't know.
not in the first phase.
Not in the
So,
first phase.
so we like, we wanna go crazy and dream big, but this is budget constrained with what we expect. And this really is the first phase, this isn't the end all be all.
Yeah, but once we are all in, we're gonna be in a situation now where we could get competitive to go out there and get grant money to fill any gaps that we need to fill. And it's gonna be a phased approach through time, but as we mentioned earlier, it's not gonna be like Oakland County's plan, because Oakland County talked to their communities after the millage passed. We already, a year and a half, already started the communication, so we are way ahead of the 8 ball, we're way ahead of the plan. and be able to be in a situation to, once we know what we're working with, we're be able to execute and be able to build off of it. But there is a lot of infrastructural stuff that we're thinking about as well.
Very good, thank you.
You keep mentioning Oakland County, and it may have been a little rushed before the election, but there were maps of proposed routes before the election. And when you look at what SMART's provided after the election, it's a very small percentage, percentage of those. And the entire northern half of Oakland County still has no SMART. So all those people are paying into it, but they're getting no service. So why do we think you're going to fulfill your promises for Wayne County when you still haven't done it for Oakland County?
So the maps that I think you're talking about were from the RTA millage vote. Those were not prepared by SMART. So what we've done this time around.
And RTA was several years ago.
Yes.
It was a regional.
No, this was 2000. This was 4 years ago. I can send you the video.
Oh, okay. But what we have done in Oakland County is worked with all of the rural transit providers in the northern and western parts to make those connections, so that, you know, folks from Oakland Township can get down to their doctor's appointment in Troy. And we have like seamless transfers between WODA, Western Oakland Transit Authority, NODA, Northern, OPC in Rochester, to the SMART network. And we're working on like integrating very soon a seamless dispatch and scheduling system that's like happening very soon. That we're excited about.
So how many new miles of routes have we got in Oakland County since the election?
About 200. So we've got 3 new routes and 6 route extensions in Oakland County since 2023.
And how many are we proposing for Wayne County?
We're proposing 8 new routes and 5 route extensions.
I have 2 questions. The first question is, can we have this coffee hour in like the evenings? Because a lot of people who are going to use the transit are probably at work right now. And we really would like to get their feedback, because most of the time it's people who are staying home or who can come to these meetings. So if we can make that happen, that would be wonderful. And my second question is, Canton is a very big community. It's 36 square miles, and if you're suggesting the first phase for SMART for 2 fixed routes, how do we connect people from those 2 fixed routes to other parts of Canton? It's just, how are we going to do that? Because that's the problem that we have been talking about quite a bit within our community. Is you can have a fixed route, then what happens from Michigan Avenue if somebody has to go to Haggerty and Cherry Hill, or the Cherry Hill downtown that we are building? How do we do that?
Yeah, I think what this is the bare bones. You know, what we're doing is trying to connect our main lines, and then once we are connected, the main lines are connected. We're not levying a 4 mil millage like Ann Arbor has. We're leveling something that we've always historically leveled. Once we are all in as a county, we are going to be in a place to be able to be competitive, to go out there and seek more grant opportunities from the state and federal partners, to be able to start thinking about the first mile and last mile to the main fixed route. Like, this isn't the end all be all transit plan. Like, before you could start walking, you gotta crawl. And right now, we're not crawling in many communities in Wayne County. And this is about setting the basics, the fundamentals to be able to grow the transportation plan across the county. And, you know, there is no plan to increase the millage in the future. There is no discussions on there or taxing any additional taxes. What we're looking to do is to go after grant money, taxes that you're paying already that's going somewhere else. And we want to be able to overlap that service with what we have currently going. And, you know, the focus on this plan is to cover the main lines. In areas where they don't have main lines, think about rideshare programs. In areas where rideshare programs don't work, where there's a large senior population, to ensure that we have senior services like Nankin Transit and other senior services that we could invest in across the county. So many communities do have senior services where they have buses and that they operate. But some of those services are being paid for by the millage that's being levied through the Wayne County Transit Board. So, hopefully that answers your question. It's not gonna be, this isn't the master plan. This is a phased approach, and this is phase one of several phases.
So her hand was up, I'm gonna let her go and then I'll go after her.
All right. I didn't know who was first.
Yeah, thank you. Just to follow up on, Connie's question, just a little feedback. You know, I'm a Canton resident, and if I am gonna have to drive to get to Smart, I'm probably not gonna take it, because I'm already in my car, and it's just not convenient. I'll just continue on, because that's not convenient. So I just, you know, wanted, and I understand the phased approach, and I love public transportation. I've lived in multiple cities where they have had public transportation, and I think the key to that is the convenience. But also, I'm wondering about, is there any plan to expand Nankin Transit itself into Washtenaw County? Because that is something I know in Canton, many people go to Michigan Medicine for their healthcare, or to, what is it now?
Trinity.
Trinity Health. So, that is a huge gap for us, and understanding that Washtenaw County is not part of this, but that is something that I think would really, increase people's, you know, likelihood to be more in favor of this.
Yeah, no, and thank you for that. I mean, that's the type of feedback that we're looking for, and to get the community input, because we don't wanna just build a transit system to say we built one. We wanna build one that actually works for people and people use, and that's exactly the thought that we are here to listen to the community to get that feedback. There is plans to expand and more fund Nankin Transit, but we definitely are happy to learn more and to speak to Nankin Transit and to see what kind of programs we could instill and move forward with that.
Question here, and then I got one in the back.
Two questions, one very quick. So for the students' free rides, you said it was extended to college students.
Yeah.
Is that any age?
You just have to show a student ID.
Okay,
Yeah.
a student ID, okay. And then also with Detroit being the largest, community in Wayne County, you see the Smart on the major lines, Gratiot, Michigan, but then even though there's, you know, DDOT, there's a huge gap with Smart and in some of the other areas to get to those major lines. So is there opportunities in the future, if this millage is passed, to consider some of those other areas in Detroit?
The answer is yes, and we work closely with DDOT, and the service concepts that are proposed do make a lot of those connections. I mean, one example I'm thinking of is the Plymouth corridor, Plymouth Road corridor, where there's such a hot spot, a huge area of employment centers. DDOT does go into Livonia right now. We're looking to bolster that service with this and really make a strong connection. I mean, another one would be 7 Mile and these crosstown routes. And we're seeing right now on our crosstowns that go between Oakland and Macomb, really big double-digit ridership increases, you know, on 9 Mile, on 12 Mile, when we improve the service and make it more frequent. So yeah.
Question in the back.
So I'm Connor Waterman. I'm with Peak. I brought a couple of friends here. We have kind of two different sides of transit we would like to express to you guys, and it affects, well, people with disabilities, like you guys said in the beginning. It's very, very vital for transportation. Sean, can I start with you? So Sean, where are you from? Right here in Canton? What road? Michigan and Haggerty?
Yep.
So, do you have a lot of buses nearby, or?
Nope.
No? How did you used to get to work? You used to get to work on your bike, so there wasn't like a whole lot of transit or anything, right? Like you had to travel through your using your bicycle. I mean, how are the roads? Well, too many cars and trucks. Do they go the speed limit, or do they kind of zoom past you? They go really, really fast. So with the millage happening right now, this would be massive for Sean, Ken, Cody, and Ebony, and how it would improve transit for all of them entirely.
Our friend Cody right here. Cody, where do you live?
In Romulus.
In Romulus. Do you have a job?
Yes, I have a job.
Do you take the bus to get to work?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't have one.
You don't have a bus system?
No.
No? So do you have to rely on other people to take you to work?
Yeah, my parents are Uber.
Your parents are Uber. How would you feel if you could ride the bus by yourself to get to work?
Yes.
Would it be good?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Ebony. Hi. Where do you live? Lincoln Park. You live in Lincoln Park. Do you have a bus system where you're at? Yes, I do. Do you ride the bus by yourself? Sometimes. Have you ridden it by yourself? Yes. How does it make you feel that you're able to get to places? You're excited? You like riding the bus? Yeah. Kind of.
So you have a busing system in Wyandotte? Is it a fixed route?
Yes.
Nice. Do you know what bus route you have?
I the one with that's the way
Yeah, the 140. The 140 and the 125, so that passes through right where you live. So you're able to hop on and go wherever. Where do you go when you take the 125? So that kind of allows you to go to a store and then go right back home without having to rely on your parents or anybody else, right?
I guess what we're trying to say is the bus system is really important to everyone here.
Thank you for sharing those stories.
And as you do here, thank you for coming out today. This is a lifeline for many people, and I think it's our duty in government to create a system that allows individuals to be able to live a full life and be able to participate in it, just like anybody else can. And so, thank you for coming out today and sharing your stories.
And I know, a lot of us here are Canton residents, and so I just want to say, especially for the gentleman who lives on Michigan Avenue in Hagerty, we all know how dangerous that intersection is. I was coming home from the airport the other day, and a car just zoomed around us like in the turn lane and went through, I don't know, it must have been 80 miles an hour, and I just thought if there was someone that was trying to cross at that intersection on a bike, they would have been hit. And yeah, I can't imagine trying to, walk through there on a regular basis. I know we have a lot of questions, but we are wrapping up on time. Is there anyone who hasn't asked a question yet? Yes.
I don't know if this is a question or a feedback. When I lived in Ann Arbor and I was still working and my husband was going for therapy, we were able to arrange, and I don't know what service they had, for someone to come and pick him up at the house, take him to his therapy and bring him back. And I know that was part of the service and it was very, very good. Do you see that being incorporated early on or in later phases?
I think you might be talking about ADA paratransit that complements the fixed routes.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was all set up for me being a newbie.
Yeah, so this is a door-to-door service that essentially mimics the fixed routes. same hours, same routes, same everything, within a 3/4 mile zone from the fixed routes. Older folks and people with disabilities are eligible to use that service, and it will pick you up and take you anywhere within that general area where the fixed routes serve.
That was in Washtenaw County.
Yep,
Is that something that's available in Wayne?
Currently, yes, Smart.
Oh,
This is a federal.
I don't
ADA
have
law.
use for it anymore. My husband passed, but I was wondering
Yeah.
if that existed here, cause I'm a newbie here.
It certainly does. It exists in Ann Arbor. It exists in the Tri-County area here, and it complements all of the other we call them demand response services, like the dial-a-ride services that are operated by Smart and operated by different communities.
Yes,
and
right, cause the fee
organizations.
was very, very small. I mean, I can't even remember what I paid, but it was very small. I didn't know it existed here.
Yes.
Not so much a question, but just a quick statement. Going back to the drain that you fixed up there on Canton Center, very much appreciated. Allows us to get that response to the high school and stopping us from going an extra 2 miles around. And we really appreciate the partnership with you to get that completed, both of you. And the less vehicles on the road, the better it is for the fire department with less accidents. So.
Right. That's another benefit of transit is less vehicles on the road and less wear and tear on the road, less potholes, right? Okay, I'm gonna, these three ladies in the back, and then I think we're gonna have to wrap up. So, Diane?
Alright, just real quick, I'm happy to hear if this does go through that more dollars will be going to Mannequin Transit. You know, I'm on the commission and those 5 communities, most of those folks are on dialysis and needing to go to their doctors and that. They try and get folks to the store and that, but the main ones are the dialysis patients. And it's only Monday through Friday, limited hours. So I would love to see growth, with the Mannequin and other programs like that. Because those folks I can drive somewhere, park and get on the bus, I don't have a problem. But those folks can't, they rely on the bus to come to their house and help them on, the transit to get to where they need to go, so. And, you know, we all are, most of us are opt-out communities. Those dollars are gonna be going back into it if it passes, so, and I appreciate that you all are coming out and talking to us to hear about our needs, because, you know, those dollars need to come back to us as well.
Oh, it was a thought that I had. I know there's a Detroit to Ann Arbor flyer. Is that something that down the road there might be from Canton to Detroit?
Yeah, and that is operated right now by the Regional Transit Authority, whom we work with every day and coordinate services. So they have the D2A2, the bus that goes from downtown Detroit to Ann Arbor, and then the DAX that goes from Detroit Air Express that goes from downtown Detroit to the airport frequently. And those are great, those are really expensive. So when we talk about this planning process and the dollars that we expect and the dollars that we can put toward, you know, this first phase of really just kind of filling in the gaps, there are certainly trade-offs, but you know, I love those services, I use them. So as we move forward, you know, as we are more competitive, those are opportunities that will, you know, inherently rise.
But I would say a vote for our friends who have to have the transit. That's how I feel. Priority.
Thank you for being here. I was just gonna, my son was in high school, he had a stroke at birth, so he was a hemiplegic, but he was able to overcome a lot and he learned to drive. At one point though, he had seizures, so you can't drive. He was trying to take classes at the high school and at schoolcraft, and when he had the seizure, he was out of luck. We tried to go through the SMART system and extra thing, but you're not federally qualified as disabled. So you're disabled, but you're not disabled enough. You can't drive. You almost had to drop out of the classes in schoolcraft. And so that is an absolute need. The idea that you can arrange these door-to-door services for special needs is very limited. It's only for seniors, and it's not as easy as you think. So anybody with epilepsy, I think, is absolutely in need. I'm just praying that Canton holding us back. My son has since moved to Charlotte, where there is mass transit, to be able to drive. He graduated from Wayne State Supply Chain Management. Wasn't even supposed to
Where can people go to get information on the ballot proposal? Is there a website?
So if you go to smartbus.org, you will see a lot of the information that we've assembled about service concepts, about Smart currently. This is great, but we have some better things now. So if you want to leave your email address, we can see to it that we can get you some of this really straightforward information.
And also, we are in the process of finalizing a website for the Wayne County Transit Authority where all this information is going to be on there. We're hoping to be rolling it out next week, so we're going to do a press release on it, and we'll make sure, Commissioner, you get it to be able to share with everyone.
So subscribe to my e-newsletter. That's my plug. All right, thank you everyone for coming out this morning. I'll sit down for a little while.